Welcome to our Halloween stream, everyone. I hope by now it's working. You can see me frantically typing on my computer to try to make it work.
Oh, that's what you were doing. I thought you were Googling Marxist propaganda.
You're about to hear it twice because I'm going to play it and make sure that it sounds good on here. Well,
Marxist propaganda.
You're about to hear it twice because I'm amazing.
You're about to hear it another time.
Yeah, and here's another time. Okay, well, thank you all for being here so far. I hope you weren't here. I don't think anyone was here so far, which is great because we were just talking about
Let's
Marxism.
be honest. Does anyone ever come here at all? No.
I wanted to do this because I didn't want to have to edit another video.
There you go.
I just wanted to have a nice spooky stream.
A spooky stream where Cameron is very funny and talks about Marxist propaganda apropos of nothing.
You're always funny, Cameron. You're always funny.
That's not where I thought that was going to
go. When are you funny was what I was going to say. Yeah, that's about right.
It just looks so nice. I was like, oh.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah. So in the comments, please guess our costumes. I wonder what they are. The screen's on you doing that. Yes. Oh, there we are.
I'm not Dr. Disrespect is what I had to
Oh, wow. I
out.
can get you glasses.
No, I don't want glasses.
Okay. Fair
I
enough.
want self-respect.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Yeah, so thank you guys for coming. What we're going to do right now is we're just going to kind of chill and talk for a little bit, probably around, I don't know, till 4, so like another 10 minutes. And then from there, we're in Eastern Standard Time. And then from there, we're going to talk about our favorite spooky movies, because it's a spooky stream. It's Halloween, Cameron. And then we're going to talk...
Is that why you're dressed like that?
Why are you dressed like that?
Because I was feeling down, and when I feel down, I like to dress up as my personal hero, Gomez Adams.
That's legitimately a very nice thing that you do for yourself. I'm actually just happy that you do that.
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with Halloween, though.
So we're going to talk about Scary Movie, and then after Scary Movie, we're going to talk about...
Scary Movie 2.
And then Scary Movie 3.
And then maybe Scary Movie 4, and then maybe
the one with Dr. Phil in it. Do you remember that?
He was in that movie, wasn't he?
He was in the very beginning of so was Shaq.
They were truly scraping the bottom of the barrel.
I know, and it's sad because Shaq deserves better than to be trapped in a room with Dr. Phil doing a soft pastiche. Parody, it's a parody, it's not pastiche.
Yeah.
They don't deserve to get that.
It's barely even parody at this point. It's just like, yeah, look at the thing.
It's overall just not good.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
Was it ever good? I remember there was one gag in Scary Movie 3 that made me laugh pretty uncontrollably, and that was just the one gag.
What was the gag?
When the Sixth Sense kid gets hit by a car. Don't know why. That got me every time.
You could have said anybody gets hit by a car, and I'd be like, which movie was that? It could have been any of them. It's basically all of them. Is the punchline is someone gets hit by a car. Which wasn't that in one of the Final Destination movies?
The Sixth Sense kid gets hit by a car?
No, someone unceremoniously just gets hit by a car when you're like expecting really like abstract, disturbing kills, and one person just gets trucked.
There was one where like the engine block falls out of one car and then crushes the girls in the car in front of them. And that maybe...
That one was lazy because you only see it from the perspective of someone watching. You don't see it from their perspective, like in really gruesome detail. You just see from like a third person, third eye view, an engine hops out of a car and smushes people.
It's very strange because like the truck pulls up and the engine gets out and he starts shooting the girls.
And it opens the door and it closes it and then it takes out the gun.
With the semi-automatic shotgun.
I'm surprised that wasn't in a Scary Movie.
Yeah, it was very scary.
Really stupid. The one that I remember being terrifying at the time, but now is hilarious, is the girls getting trapped in a tanning booth.
Do you remember that? Because that's not how tanning booths work in the slightest.
What? They're not just microwaves?
No.
Wow, thanks. Thank you for clearing that up for me.
Like, they're objectively not. But
yeah,
even
I know.
Even like a tanning booth went like completely bonkers, it would just shut off. Like those tubes aren't designed to go. Like, I feel like the scary part would be if like the tube shattered while she was inside. That would be scary.
That would be. To which I remember, isn't it like the end of that? Her eyes explode. One of their eyes pop.
She microwaved them. She didn't realize that the room was inside of a giant microwave.
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
You can't bring metal into a microwave. Everyone knows that.
Well, what she needed to do was put a little like plastic container over it.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah,
it wouldn't get everywhere.
Yeah, it wouldn't get everywhere.
Yeah, like Jess recently showed me that, and I
never knew about the plastic container shield thing.
The only thing I've learned about living with Jess is that I know nothing about doing anything in my life.
Yeah, I thought I taught you stuff.
Idiot.
Did I never teach you things?
No, at least it didn't sink in at all.
Oh my God, I need to look.
And that's the scariest thing of all. it's thinking you know something, and then someone being like, no, this is actually pretty obvious. I'm surprised you had no idea.
The ultimate tip I have for everyone out there: don't buy clothes that you can't machine wash, tumble dry. You're making too much work for yourself.
Yes.
I'll accept line dry, but you got to be able to machine wash that stuff.
What does line dry mean? You mean you put
That
it on
means
like
you
a
just
clothing
hang
line?
it. Yeah, you can put it on like a coat hanger.
Okay.
And just leave it out to dry.
Hanger, I barely know her.
Oh my God, he did it!
I took it back.
The Prestige.
I took it back from the Creator
very
episode.
spooky movie, The Prestige.
The Very Spooky Movie. They should make another Goofy movie called The Very Spooky Movie.
Yes.
It'll be a Halloween one.
Oh my God, a very spooky Goofy.
And it's about Max and his girlfriend, and they have a kid. And they go Halloween trick-or-treating.
Yeah, and now the scary part's he's becoming like his dad.
Yeah, he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's also a half animal hybrid. I don't remember the whole relationship between him and Pluto.
Oh God, I forgot about that whole thing. Crack.com ruined the internet for everybody. The fact that it turned to like, did you know that this is actually kind of a disturbing realization about this entire franchise? And you're like, I didn't before. Now I feel horrible.
I mean, the single greatest piece of media to ever come out around the Goofy movie that was not the Goofy movie was Atlanta's mockumentary about the Goofy movie.
Is there a place to stream Atlanta?
I think it's on like
an
Hulu.
FX?
Yeah, it's an FX thing, so I assume it's on Hulu.
You guys need to right now find that episode. It's called The Goof Atop Atop Disney.
No, it was the oh my God. Like the Goof at the Door or something.
Yeah, the Goof atop an empire or something. I remember it was a Goof atop something, and it took literally.
I gotta Google it. I remember the title. The title was like so perfect.
Yes.
Hang on.
To anybody that doesn't know, the show Atlanta started out as what seemed like just a procedural. Not procedural, but like an episodic.
In the being black
the city that never
Atlanta
sleeps.
system, Atlanta is considered particularly heinous.
Dun dun. No, the Atlanta started out what it seemed like as a
the Goof who sat by the door. You're right.
That sat by the door.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like sat atop something.
No, it's because it's a play on.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the name of the? Hang on. I know this is a play on a different title.
I'm just going to tell you, Atlanta started out as like, oh, cool, this is kind of a cool story. And then it got more and more ridiculous the more it got critically acclaimed. And it got more critically acclaimed because they just got to do more weird avant-garde stuff that was actually incredibly thoughtful. And one of them is an entire documentary about a...
it's a parody of The Spook Who Sat by the Door, which is about a former CIA agent who organizes black teens into a well-trained guerrilla band bent on overthrowing the white establishment.
See, now this is the thing, is most of the like quick jokes are actually deep.
Exceptionally deep. There's this is why AI should not be allowed to write jack shit.
Yeah.
Because AI would never come up with this.
That's the one thing that we really, ChatGPT doesn't do that I don't think is, if you're going to have it write an email for you, that whatever. But if people are like, oh, ChatGPT is making art, you'd have to think of it really abstractly to be like, this is art, because your brain is like making the connections it would. But for it to make such a deep reference and actually draw from something else that is along a similar tone or a similar theme, I at least haven't seen it do that so far.
Well, it's like, first of all, who like cares? The AI itself will never understand like the deeper, beautiful irony.
Yeah.
Behind something like The Spook Who Sat by the Door being about overthrowing the white establishment by creating a truly black movement, parodied as a guy who accidentally became in charge of Disney, a properly white establishment who tried to make the blackest movie in Disney history.
Y'all gotta watch this episode.
It's the funniest,
it's very
best,
good.
Truest thing I've ever seen. It's like the second to last episode or something.
Yeah, it is.
All
it was the last season. God, that show is so good. So yes, going back to the spooky things. So Halloween this year, this whole Halloween period. Oh, it is 4:00. Perfect timing. I mean, the thing that I find funny, and we won't talk about it right now because I want to like save Five Nights at Freddy's for the end, because there is some stuff I want to talk about it, having literally only skimmed through it. I went through on Peacock and just kind of like skimmed past.
Here's the thing. I love Josh Hutcherson.
Me too, Peter.
I think he's
a good boy. Yeah.
Him and Zathura.
I actually never saw Zathura.
I thought we saw it together. Space Jumanji?
Yeah, I know what it is. I just didn't see it.
Nah, He's always been great.
Well, I mean, him as PETA is great. Like, he's such a great casting.
My favorite scene was when he sits in the forest for several hours, painting his face using his cake skills to look like a rock.
And I love that when he's found, he's like, it's that I have no mouth, but I'm a scream. He's like pain and just has like face paint on him. He's like, Katniss, please, my tummy hurts, help me. It's great.
So silly.
So he's in FNAF. He's in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And I want to talk about that later, but right now, I'm surprised right now for the Halloween season, to the best of my understanding, there aren't any other huge like Halloween movies besides like The Exorcist, which came out at the beginning of the month.
No, there was also it didn't come out for Halloween, but it's been out. Yeah. There was another one in like the Conjuring Nun series.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Which I know that my brother-in-law knows way more about.
Oh, really?
I can't stand the series, quite frankly. I don't find it very interesting. But apparently it is like just enough of that based on a true story that there's a whole, of course there is, a whole subset of the internet that's just obsessed with it.
So it was listed as one of the, like the Conjuring series was listed as one of the scariest series. But I mean, after the first one, it's just been kind of like jumping the shark every movie, it feels. I think. I mean, I don't know. I remember seeing the first Nun movie and being like, wow, there was a nun in the movie.
Yeah. It took none of my time to watch it.
God damn it. That's good. And the other one was Sinister. Do you ever see Sinister?
No.
Sinister's great.
Okay, I'm not going to watch it.
A ghostly Darth Maul haunts this couple.
Oh, wait, I do know what you're talking about.
Yes,
I do know Sinister.
Mm-hmm, yeah, the best part about it is that I love a movie where, you know, the entire conceit of all these horror movies are either there's a slasher killer, you should probably just go away, you shouldn't stay wherever you are, get the hell out of there. Or two, there is a haunting at a house and you should probably get away, you should get the hell out of there. So for most of them, it's like, why are you staying at that house? Like, who cares?
I actually have a recommendation for anyone who has that exact opinion.
Well, just to pinch it off, Sinister literally, like, it starts happening and they're like, cool, we'll leave, and they move. And then the ghost haunts them, it like keeps haunting them because it's not haunting the house. So it was one of those earlier movies of like, okay, we're gonna subvert this little trope, and it worked out and it was pretty good, but just hilarious when Darth Maul shows up.
Here's like your, like, if you want your campy, silly ghost TV show to just enjoy because it's just a nonsense TV show. Sci-Fi Channel has a TV series we've been watching to get us in the Halloween spirit called Surreal Estate. It's about
what the hell?
A real estate agency that deals with haunted houses.
Is this a documentary or is this scripted?
It is scripted. It is like in the same vein as a Suits or a Eureka.
Or like Eureka, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like the main character is amazing because he's like, they chose such like, he's like a conventionally attractive guy, but he's also such a ghoul of a man that he has like no charisma. I can't describe, I literally can't describe this guy.
Okay.
You can't, whatever you're picturing in your head, it's not right.
I'm into it. I like this. I like this idea. What did you say it was called?
Surreal Estate.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's like also like I can't believe it's like so silly and campy and not like there's like a gay priest who left the Catholic order because he didn't like that the Catholic order didn't like gays, and there's like
interesting.
I don't know who this guy like. They have a tech expert who's this black dude who just constantly quotes random quotes from history, and I was like, all right, this is like fun. And then he's quoted like H.P. Lovecraft. I'm like, what?
No.
You do know, like, Mr. reads all the books. You do know what he was like. You remember what his cat's name was, right?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you. Don't Google it.
No, don't Google it.
But that's my point. Is like that is the kind of characters you're getting for this show.
Okay.
And that's so it's cool. Just like a silly, nonsense, fun ride that is like, oh, it's so spooky. It's not spooky. It's just silly.
I like that kind of camp where it's like Doctor Who, where it's like, oh, here's like something that could be spooky if you're 10.
Yeah.
Like, I like that stuff.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. It was very watchable.
Okay.
But let's talk about like the two actually good scary things that did come out.
Really quickly.
Actually good scary
there were
things.
a couple. One other set of TV shows that I wanted to mention for y'all is, you remember Quibi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Quibi.
It was around for a Quibi.
For a quick bite of shit.
Is that what it meant?
Quick bites, yes.
I had no clue.
I love that something can be around. It can start, be around, and end unceremoniously, and be dead for a couple of years, and you still didn't realize that.
I think the problem was why it didn't succeed, which is I couldn't care.
Also fair.
No one cared. They tried so hard to throw money in front of this problem instead of just trying to make a novel, interesting platform with good media on it.
The reason I bring up Quibi is because it was bought out by Roku. So if you have a Roku or the Roku channel, I'm pretty sure you can watch their entire filmography on there. And two of the things I remember being, one was ridiculous for no reason, was Murder House Flip. Did you hear about this?
No.
They would buy houses where a horrific murder happened and try to flip them.
So I'm assuming there's like a bit where it's like, it sounds like NBC, like in the era of like The Office.
Yeah,
Office,
it's like
a Parks and Rec, where they'd like cut away and like the walls bleeding, and they're just like straight faced about something. Very Michael Scott is like,
they're like, we'll need another coat of paint. Laugh track. And so they tried to do that show, didn't work out very well. I don't know if the show's still going, but it is on Roku now. And then there's another one which I think it was called 50 States of Horror or 50 States of Murder or something like that. And they were going to have a different episode for each state. Solids,
liquid, gas, plasma.
Yes,
the second plasma, the third plasma, the second water.
50 Shades of Horror, no, but the show was supposed to be each individual state would have a horror story. And one of them was directed by Sam Raimi.
Was it just going to McDonald's in Louisiana?
Yes, it was. No, it was about a lady who gets her arm chopped off, and she's the wife of a lumberjack, and
it was her. She was a tree the whole time.
Well, don't ruin it for the people. I told everybody to go watch it. No, the conceit's really dumb. Same thing with everything on Quibi.
Yeah, she's a tree.
Yeah, but the execution's great because Sam Raimi just loves making witch stuff, so she just turns into a ghoul. It's fucking awesome. It's actually pretty good. So
my favorite part is when she walked out of a tree and went.
Yeah, exactly. And she became Bully McGuire and asked for somebody to make her cookies with nuts in them. That's great.
No, without nuts.
No, he said, I want one with nuts.
You're right.
He's like, I can make one with nuts. And he was like, yeah, make one with nuts.
Every time I make cookies for her mom, exactly the same.
She just doesn't like them.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That was it. That was the whole
like
bit.
Your cookies.
Yeah. You know, I have a lot in common with I also disappointed my father.
God, that's one of my favorite things we've ever created is just the fact that there was that interview of Chris Pratt just being like, just like Mario, I could never please my father.
Short.
It's great. Go watch it now. I'll link it later, maybe, if I remember to.
Yes. All right, but there were actually scary movies that were like good that came out this year, and I'll give you two of them.
Go on.
One?
Yes.
Nope.
That was last year.
Was it?
I think so.
That's 2023.
Actually, I don't know. Google it. But I agree. Yeah, Nope's incredible. Nope.
You know what? It was so good. It's this year's best scary movie as well.
I agree.
Oh, you're right. It's 2022.
It was. Okay.
Darn it.
But the reason, Nope reminded me of that, where we were just talking about movies where the entire conceit is you should probably leave that house. You should get out of there. And Nope has that energy of like, hey, y'all should just move. And then the fact being that the characters in it are like, move where? What would we do? This is America in 2022. Like, I don't have many options to go anywhere.
Of the three scary movies I was going to bring up, the worst one was the only one that came out this year.
No. Oh, you're right. Because didn't Talk to Me come out last year?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So No One Will Save You is the only accurate, like, I saw a scary movie this year that I thought was entertaining. And it's just so wild. Well, it's the wildest thing.
This is the crazy thing. Because as recommendations go for this year, I think Nope's a really good one. And it's basically Jaws, but in the sky, like in a desert. You know,
Jaws also had a thin veneer of racism.
I feel like it might. I haven't seen Jaws in a while. Maybe Jaws 5.
I don't think it had a thin veneer of racism.
Go watch Jaws.
Did they have segregated bathrooms in that?
I hope not. Jesus Christ.
I don't know what Steven Spielberg did.
Yeah, I was about to say Spielberg was probably making a big statement if he did that. But yeah, the Nope's really good. A big part of that movie that people don't remember and why I was so mad that the first time I saw it was in IMAX. Second time was in a tiny theater with Jess, and the screen was keystoned improperly. So it looked like a trapezoid. It sucked.
It's amazing.
And in the IMAX version, the monkey Bobo or whatever it was. God, what was the name of that monkey? That scene is horrific. Like literally, like when it looks into the camera, I was like, I actually had like a moment of panic. In a poorly keystone theater, I literally like Jess was like, well, I think that was pretty good. I'm like, I love you to death. You don't even know. You don't know what you missed.
It's not scary enough.
You don't know what you missed. Yeah. So Nope, very good. Anything else you want to say about Nope?
Nope.
Very good. And then the other movie, which, yeah, you're right. It came out last year, but it wasn't distributed here until this year.
Yeah, because Australia.
Because Australia.
It was the Wiggles. The Wiggles Take Manhattan.
It was the Wiggles Take Manhattan. It was Choo Choo Chugga Chugga Big Red gory mess.
Yes. And it was about how the Chugga Chugga Big Red car becomes sentient, and much like the Anti-Chrysler from Futurama, starts killing people and turning them into big red cars as well.
Yeah, Chrysler, or Maximum Overdrive. Or,
yeah,
was the movie?
spooky.
No, Christine was the movie.
Yes.
Yes, and it was a Chrysler, though.
I think so. Well,
Yeah.
the joke was in the Futurama bit, it's an anti-Chrysler because the Antichrist. It's very funny.
God, I miss Futurama. Which
Well, it's
I haven't.
back.
Have you watched the
I
new
have
season?
not. I'm scared to.
I hear that it
It
is.
ended so well for me. I was like things can just not be anymore. It's
Yeah.
okay. They don't need to. We don't need to make another one. It's fine.
I agree.
But they don't always talk to me.
Yes, Talk to Me, which did come out technically last year, but made its big round this year because the people that made it are the Raka Raka guys from YouTube. You know about this, right?
Yes.
So they did a big tour around all of their like friends that are YouTubers to be like, hey, we made this movie. Let's talk about it. And I think they did a
That's where they got the title.
Talk to Me. Oh, because they were on the shows and they were like, hey, talk to me.
Yeah.
About the movie we made.
They're like, we are talking right now. I was like, no, that's the name of the movie. Oh.
Yeah, no, we're talking about the movie. Is the wait? Oh, okay. Someone. Sorry, I looked at the stream and it was just like, why is it saying that the stream is over? It's not. Someone dropped by and they said hi, hello. I don't recognize your username, but it's a pleasure to see you, friend.
What's your username?
Baron Genol. Baron Genol. It's a pleasure to have you here. This is one thing we don't get in our episodes, I realize, when we're regularly recording, is...
Someone interrupting us to say hello?
No, just people giving us attention, I guess.
I give you attention the entire episode.
Wow, I probably should reciprocate.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of just staring off into space while you speak. Whenever the camera's not on me, I'm just...
There's a reason he controls the camera.
Exactly. So I can just take a mental break and be like, so moving on, I don't give a fuck what you're talking about.
It's so nice to just have all this mask off honesty lately.
It's great. It's great.
You, society, the law, the legal system, the governments.
It's all great.
So good.
Also, hello, Jessica. Jessica's in the chat. It's good to have you.
Please put an F in that chat.
But yeah, F's in chat, please.
Okay, but talk to me.
Yes. Also, don't be sorry for Berenginal. You're great, and we love having you here.
Get out of here.
No. Sorry for interrupting to say hi, lol. No, don't you dare say sorry for.
Oh my God! Will we talk about the spooky
No,
movie?
now
have
I'm
to be
just
scared by your
gonna.
inability
I'm
to
literally
communicate.
going to text to speech everything in chat from now on. That's the rest of the stream. I'm now a what are they called? NPC streamer. The one where they.
Yeah, ice cream's so good. Ice cream's
Gang
so
gang.
good.
Gang gang.
Yes.
Yeah. Ice cream so good. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Is this doing it for you guys? Do you like this type of Okay, so Talk to Me. Very good movie. The Raka Raka guys, known for making horrifyingly violent like shorts, just quick videos. It's like, what if Star Wars versus Harry Potter? Let's destroy a house. And that's their entire bit. I'm dying. Sorry. I'm getting over, I almost said longinus. Laryngitis. Is that the word? Laryngitis?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm getting over fuck. Anyway. Raka
Spear
Raka
of
guys.
laryngitis.
Yes. The Raka Raka guys, known for destroying houses in a YouTube video, like Mr. Beast style. Like, we just spent $1 million on a house. Let's destroy it for this one YouTube. Which they're sets. Anyway, they also did one which was like, I think it was like Iron Man versus Halo or something. They destroy homes and it's fun.
I'm just familiar with the general premise of their work.
Yes, they're very good. I like them a lot. And so they got a chance to make a movie in Australia, or was it in New Zealand?
Down under.
Down under. Wait, do that again so I can get you on camera doing it.
Down under.
Okay, cool. Keon, clip that. The movie was surprisingly. It reminded me of like the Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun, where it's like, this could be anywhere. But then they slip in a joke that's like, no, this is just for us. And then everybody that was watching was like, did they misspeak, or is that something we don't understand about? I almost said Louisiana, but Australia. Louisiana is basically its own little separate place.
I don't even think it exists on this plane of existence. I'm pretty sure the moment you cross the Mississippi border, everything west of it is not there.
It's a giant, like, a hallucination, a collective hallucination. You play Baldur's Gate?
No.
Sorry.
Not in a while.
There's a part in it that it's like all a collective hallucination. And I'm like, this game's amazing. I'm very happy about this.
Man, you and your Baldur's Gate. Kids these days.
I'm only here so I can spend time doing something before going back home and watching Just Play Baldur's Gate. So Talk to Me was surprising, I'd say, because the movie looks like, it's like, oh, here's a horror movie. Cool. And since it's from the Rocka Rocka guys, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for them to destroy a house, like launch one of their characters through.
Instead, they destroyed a person.
Man. So we're gonna let's try to avoid spoilers, just because people will be popping in and out, and we could have a spoiler section later. But the main conceit of the movie, which I think they do incredibly well, is the use of kind of peer pressure and addictive substances in a horror pastiche or a horror theme. And it's like so good, because if you were similarly to like other horror movies like It Follows, which is also a good recommendation if you want to watch something scary during the Halloween season, they take a completely separate idea or theme and then ascribe a horrific like monster to it. And if you just were watching, you'd be like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is a cool little horror thing. But the more you think about it, the more you're like, oh, this actually feels like it's about something in society. And because we live in a society, Cameron.
We do live in a society.
And they did a really good job, I think, of that, of basically taking seances and turning them into like a drug.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's like, it's not just the peer pressure part, but it's also like you could see how their personalities are different. On the one hand, they're having a high. On the other hand, they're becoming destructive and chaotic in a terrible way that's not just self-destructive, but also like hurting their families.
Yeah, and it's also one of those movies where if you haven't already been in those social situations, you might not recognize it, how it is meant to be something that's like, hey, this is something that kind of everybody goes through in high school. And so it's easy to imprint on these characters.
That's right. High school is the real villain.
Yes.
I called it.
The real villain is cigarettes. They do that at literally in the very beginning, where like one of the characters is just like, hey, you want a cigarette? And he's like, no. And I'm like, that's going to be the theme of the movie. Thank you for spelling it out right now. And then it goes on. I'm like, that was the theme of the movie. And thank you for spelling it out, because it feels real good.
Yeah, because as soon as the first main character takes a whiff of a cigarette, they become possessed by a demon and they have to have their vape.
No, just one more hit from the Jewel, please. No, go quick.
Great.
Yeah, was it Jewel that got sued and can no longer sell stuff because they marketed to kids?
I have no clue, but that sounds right. Yeah.
The monster in the movie is called Jewel, and it's a very thin allegory for
the vaping company. Yes,
for a vaping company. Yeah. No, but the movie did an incredibly good job of illustrating kind of how a sweet person that's just kind of been through trauma can then become addicted to just not even an illicit, not even something that's like, I don't even know. It wasn't even like a painkiller.
Well, that's the thing, is like, it's an unknown substance.
Yes, that's fair. Yeah.
So it's completely outside. Like, the entire premise is not just the fact that it's like an addictive and damaging substance that they abuse, because like you're only supposed to do it for so long.
Yeah,
you do it too long, and
they didn't listen to the prescription.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Gremlins thing. You can't feed the Mogwai after midnight.
Yeah, so like you can't be possessed past. I think they said like a minute and a half, like 60 seconds, something like that.
Yeah. So in that same premise, though, it's like this is completely new. So it's not even like something you can regulate or have an opinion about, because it's completely new.
Yeah.
You don't know how it's going to destroy your life. That's right. This is a thinly veiled explanation of the opioid crisis.
Exactly. And the movie that was by the people that destroy house is about how we're destroying
our houses.
Our house. And it's called America.
Yeah. If the body is a temple, then a temple might also be a house, is the joke. House MD. There, we got it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I did not realize that House was a Sherlock Holmes riff.
Are you serious?
I'm 0 for 2 here.
I know that it's not like obvious, but like, isn't his friend like Wilson?
Yes.
Yeah, Watson.
Yes.
And they're
House Holmes.
Yeah.
So
I love it. It's great. Do you know that Elementary was an adaptation?
I thought it was about a guy who never passed like 5th grade.
What?
Elementary.
Not are you far smarter than a 5th grader?
Oh, Jeff Foxworthy one where he plays Sherlock Holmes.
You might be a redneck if you haven't passed the 5th grade. So that's Jeff Foxworthy.
That's his one joke.
Yeah, you might be, or here's your sign. I think was another one of them.
I have no clue.
Or if you put a TV on
Man, I don't
TV.
want to give any more thought to redneck humor in my mind for the rest of this. So we were talking about Talk to Me is very good. I want to emphasize one very important thing, which I love about horror in general, which is in a world of like just the worst CGI you've ever seen.
Yes.
One genre continues to prove that like you can do nothing in terms of like complicated over the top VFX and paying and all that stuff. You could just do like the most bare bones like makeup ass visual effect.
Yeah, yeah.
And it will sell amazing.
I think that was the thing that after the movie we were like talking, we were like, did they even really do any crazy special effects? Like, is it like VFX? Like, most of it was like a wire gag where they just pulled someone and like did some cool spooky possession stuff and had a really good makeup artist. And that was enough to like get you really unnerved.
That plus a lot of good cuts.
Also, hello, Gladdy something. Yay, Berenginal. Man, I'm so sorry if I'm ruining the pronunciation of your name. What? Berenginal, right there. Read it. Read it to me.
It's Benjamin, isn't it?
It might be Benjamin. Hello, Benjamin, with jumbled letters. I don't know if that was mean. Thank you for being here. We love you very much. But I'm glad you like Talk to Me. Talk to Me was really good.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing is I didn't want to watch that movie. I was like, when we were all like, what should we watch tonight? I was vehemently against it.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to watch a good scary movie. I want to watch a stupid scary. I want to watch a silly scary movie. I want to watch the dumbest scary movie to come out in the year 2023.
Yeah, this was really frustrating because we got a bunch of our friends together to watch it. And the entire time we were like cracking jokes as you do when you're hanging out with friends. But the movie itself was not only good, kind of funny, but just really well done. So we're like, I don't even know if I could say. Like, there was a stretch of the movie where there was like 10 minutes where we didn't say anything. And I was like, this is very uncharacteristic of us.
No, it wasn't. Well, it was uncharacteristic of me because the moment I realized that one lady was from Lord of the Rings, I couldn't not make fun of that.
One of the parents of the kids is from Lord of the Rings. And was it
like, I am no man.
Yeah, it was just like, God, what was it? That being a doctor, she was a nurse or something. And it's just like, well, I want to... I want to shake the hand of the doctor, the man that did my surgery. And then she walks in.
No man.
It's so stupid. It was a perfect opportunity to make the joke.
All right.
Yes.
But no one will save you. Completely changing gears.
Yes, we're going to change gears to the movie. So what we basically did was we were like, let's just put on a movie. What we ended up doing when we were hanging out was putting on the what was it? The Life of Henry Sugar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And realizing eventually that it was a 40-minute Wes Anderson spoof about why the capitalists are actually good people and not the real villains.
I didn't realize on so many of Roald Dahl's things were like, capitalism's kind of rad. Yeah. Do you ever think about it?
Do you ever think about the fact that if you give one man power over a small group of Native Americans and make them make chocolate, like in slave conditions, people are objectively getting maimed constantly?
One man should have all that power.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my favorite part is when a fox... something about
I do love when Fox. No. Benjernal is a fine. It's a Spanish expression. Oh, that's very cool. Okay, cool.
I'm ignorant.
Unless I'm like saying a terrible Spanish expression this whole time. I don't know.
You could just stop saying it. We could ignore this person and get back to the point of you dragging me here.
I want people in our chat to feel good.
I don't. This is why we don't have chats.
Exactly. See, will we ever get along? I want people to enjoy watching this show. And you're like, fuck that. So we start off with
wait, no, to be fair, that's exactly how you characterize me during Talk to Me.
Yes, exactly. You're right. The entire time Cameron was like, fuck this movie. I'm like, this is really good. He's like, I know, but fuck this movie. Yeah.
I was like, the better it got, the more mad I was. I was like, I didn't want to watch a good movie that made me think about stuff.
Yeah, because we were looking through stuff and we were just like, okay, what should we watch? We started off with the something of Henry Sugar, the life and times of Henry Sugar.
Yes.
Secret Life of Henry Sugar. The
Yes.
The awakening of
world of Benedict Cumbersnatch.
Yes, and It's pretty good. If you're bored and need 40 minutes of something to do on Netflix, it's actually pretty well done. I mean, I really appreciate that Wes Anderson, and we've talked about it whenever we've talked about Wes Anderson movies, most of them are just him now flexing that he's like, I know what I want to do.
I don't have to do anything and I'll still do it better than you.
Man, like, what was it? Asteroid City. Great movie. But yeah,
it was the Tenet. In my mind of I know they said it was the Oppenheimer, but I still want to believe in my heart it's the Tenet.
And it was the life and times of Henry Boy was pretty good. Just him getting some actors and making them speak with no punctuation.
So the premise of No One Will Save You is
I'm like getting there.
In the same way that like Talk to Me is incredibly like obvious and yet detailed metaphor for like opioid crisis and drug abuse. Talk to Me is an incredibly detailed metaphor for how you can come to a movie executive with an incredibly simple premise and they will throw money at your idea because they have no clue what they're doing.
It was so I was surprised when I heard about the movie because we were sitting on the couch, we watched Talk to Me and we were like, this is great. I'm ready to just kind of chill out. And then we're like, well, I think what people were hanging out with left. And then we're like, well, we'll put on like No One Will Save You because like, who cares? We could still hang out for another hour and a half. And then as we were watching it, we realized that if you need, I'm telling you, if tonight or anytime now you need a movie just to sit on the couch, you have a Hulu subscription or whatever, and just watch something, you need to watch No One Will Save You, because when it was coming out, I heard that it was coming straight to streaming. And I remember people that were talking about it and covering it. It was like, well, that kind of sucks. It seems like it's going to be an interesting kind of home invasion kind of thing. Who knows? Sci-fi thriller.
Yeah, it's a home invasion, but the premise is instead of it being a poltergeist, is actual aliens, which I thought was like really cool.
Yeah, and we're not spoiling anything. It's basically in the trailers.
They are unambiguous about this at the beginning.
Yeah, this is the conceit of the movie. But should I spoil kind of the main thing that...
Can you spoil something no one's going to be that invested in?
This really isn't a spoiler, but the reason why this didn't come to theaters, and it shouldn't have, or if it did come to theaters, there should have been a sign that was, talk over the movie, please. There's no dialogue.
It's amazing.
At all.
That's the thing is like, it's like it wants to be so art house.
Yes, yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, this, like, in the same way the other one was like, here's a very clever, like, everything about this is drenched in the opioid crisis. This is like, I have a cool idea for a movie where no one talks, but it's super spooky.
It's very spooky.
Is there more to that? No.
It's fucking great. The entire time we were watching Talk to Me, I kept making the one joke I make during movies now, which is like, if somebody's feet are around, I'm like, you gotta suck on those big toes.
Stinky toes.
Big, sweaty, smelly toes.
In your defense, there was a scene in the movie that made that overly abundant.
I know, this is why Talk to Me was the wrong movie for us to watch, because I'm like, oh, look at those big, sweaty, smelly, oh no! And they immediately paid it off, and I was like, oh God, they called my bluff. And so the entire time we were like watching these movies and being like, wow, Talk to Me actually, like, we didn't even need to make any jokes. Like, the jokes like happened and they were like good parts of the plot. No One Will Save You is meant for you and your friends to make your own commentary track over, because there is no dialogue. I think there might have been a couple of words at some point.
There's like literally like 2 sentences spoken, I think.
Yeah, but the majority of the movie is just some sound design. It's pretty decent. It all works out. But the entire time, you're just meant to be remarking on the most fucking ridiculous thing you'll see all year, and it's fucking worth it. It was really fun. And I was actually pissed that all of our friends had already left, and you and I were just like, what the fuck? Oh my God, no one's gonna believe us.
You guys didn't have the vision. You didn't understand what I was trying to show you.
God, it was...
I'm tired of I'm limited by the technology. Yes,
exactly. You just look straight into the projector and you're like, this is my opus.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Because it's like, my favorite thing about it is like, they, like, in like other horror movies, the like monsters, they always like want to save it for the end. And this one is like, yeah, no, this is what it looks like. Look, are you looking?
I think you'd be surprised how much, like, I think there was also The Artist and a couple other movies that are like silent movies, where if it's a silent movie, there isn't supposed to be dialogue, and they go pretty quick. This movie was a pretty tight, like, hour and a half. Bro, the thing goes so fast. Like, and by so fast, sorry, opposite. It takes for fucking ever. We got to the middle of the movie and I was like, Well, a problem I've had with most movies is that like the traditional script structure is that at the middle of the movie, there's something called your midpoint break where the movie kind of switches and a bunch of stuff that you didn't know has either changed, you've had a big reveal, and now the rest of the movie is about doing something completely different. This fucking movie and a couple other movies right now will like... shit will happen and you're like, okay, I guess that was the midpoint. Oh, that wasn't the, what the fuck? And it just keeps going. And this movie had like 5 midpoints before the midpoint. And I was like, what the fuck? I think I paused and I was like, we are 20 minutes into this fucking movie.
We thought it was another like the Magical Life of Benjamin Sugar or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, maybe this is just a short movie with a bunch of craziness in it.
And it's great because the movie starts out and you're like, oh, hey, here's a character. They're going through whatever. And then after about 15 minutes, you're like, no one said a fucking word. Like, we've seen other people on screen interact with her. No one said anything.
Spit in the main character's face.
Yeah.
And no one has said a single word.
It's so good. It's like great. But it's hammy. The whole thing is ridiculous. But like, as it keeps going, you're just like, okay, is something going to happen? Oh, something's happening. Oh, a lot of fucking shit happens. It just keeps going. And like more and more ridiculous stuff happens in a way that is both shocking and not shocking. Like, I don't know how to describe in the way that it just keeps topping itself, but in a way that's consistent with how fucking dumb the movie is.
Yeah, you like keep thinking you've jumped the shark, and then a larger second shark jumps over that first shark.
You're like, and they called it the Aristocrats. Yes. Like, oh my god, so many sharks. God. Okay, so if you have a Hulu account, you need to watch No One Will Save You. And I'm surprised that the movie got some fanfare when it was coming out to be like, oh, this looks crazy. And then I don't know if many people saw it because it's worthy of like, not even a second watch, just anybody to see it.
I mean, the sad part is like not even actually that bad. We live in an incredible age of media where like you can release something like that and people will think like this is bad. It's like, well, yeah, when you compare it to like Nope and Us and Get Out, a lot of scary movies are bad. But when you compare it to what apparently passes a scary movie anymore, it's surprisingly competent.
Yeah, and
doesn't mean it's good, it's just competent.
Yeah, and did you hear about the shift in Hollywood to second screen content?
What does that mean?
Apparently, I think it was like Jason Bateman's sister, who's like an executive or somebody that like works
what a like weird like qualifier, like this person who is the relative of this other person who might be an executive that we might care about.
I don't know how I heard about that the person that found this out was like, Jason Bateman's sister.
Middle school, and you're like, oh, did you hear that Billy's sister got her head? She had a friend at another school whose head got chopped off because they stuck their head out the bus window, and you just hear these like incredibly nonsensical stories that came 4 like layers away.
I heard a kid got Halloween candy that was rewrapped and their head exploded.
Oh my god, those were 2 unrelated events.
My cousin's best friend told me.
Yeah, he's like, wait, these Milky Ways are Snickers.
And you can trust me because my mom works for Nintendo.
Yeah. That's why you knew that the new Legend of Zelda was going to be packaged with a big Reese's cup. And you just put the Reese's cup in your GameCube.
And you can cut it with the Master Sword. And then it reveals a secret that Ness is Sans.
Yeah.
And is from Undertale.
And if you get the special secret golden wrapper, you get to go to Nintendo HQ and survive a gauntlet against 5 other children.
And Shigeru Miyamoto will be like, give you an everlasting gobstopper.
Yeah, he'll give you an everlasting Smash game.
Satoru Iwata will come down from the heavens and like nod at you and do his... Yes. Thank you for sticking with us through that.
We're going to talk about FNAF at some point.
We'll get there. The one thing that I wanted to mention is that, Jason Bateman's sister apparently had mentioned that the studios now aren't looking for prestige television anymore, even though it is its own kind of cash cow. They're looking for what they're calling second screen content, which is shows that go on for like syndicated amount of time. Like there's like 100 episodes, an hour each. And you're just putting them on in the background while you do other shit.
Yeah.
And I've seen that proliferate recently with like Suits. I watched like 6 seasons of Suits. Fuck me if I could tell you anything that happened on the show.
I'm pretty sure the premise of Suits was guy without law degree. No, this is the premise of every USA show.
Were you actually going to describe it to me?
The premise of every USA show is guy without like license to do thing claims to be able to do thing and then does thing without that license, committing some sort of irreparable fraud that has massive implications for the legal system, the criminal justice system, or both. And then we're just supposed to be cool with that.
If you're a lawyer, watch Suits on Halloween. It's real spooky because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's funny because
watch Sykes, because a man basically does like criminal malpractice. Like nothing he does is like admissible in the court of law.
Oh, in Suits or Sykes?
In Psych.
Oh, it's wait, what?
Where he pretends to be a psychic. And he just does like a bunch of like crappy things to like get evidence that like a dude did a crime so they could catch a criminal.
Are you telling me that psychics aren't accredited special witnesses on, what is it called? An expert witness?
Yeah.
They're not expert witnesses that can actually like they could give like a lie detector test, but it's like spiritual and cool and spooky.
Is that a thing? Do they bring like psychics into a room to be like he's lying?
Yeah, they hold down their pulse and they're just like, I can tell he's lying because I'm an X-Man, and they're like, we're connected, you
yes.
and I. We're two of the same.
David shows.
Yes. So what the fuck are we're gonna? You want to talk about FNAF now?
Yes.
We're almost an hour into the stream.
What are we even doing? Why are we here?
I wanted to give. Okay, so we'll probably end the stream. Maybe not soon, but like in a little bit. I wanted to at least do an hour long, and I wanted us to get to FNAF near the end, even though it's in the thumbnail, because I wanted everybody that wanted to talk about it to be here now.
You don't.
There's people watching.
You don't.
I want them to know.
Curtain.
I am like a youth pastor. I need them to understand where we are in the sermon, Cameron.
Could have you chosen a worse allegory for what you were trying to do?
Camp counselor?
Okay, I'll take that.
I'm your camp counselor today. You can tell by my voice, it's cracking.
Yeah, you're Ben Stiller in Heavyweights. You just keep electrocuting me.
Holy shit, I forgot about that movie.
Now that's a scary movie.
That's a scary movie, especially if you have Halloween candy. You're like, man, this Halloween candy's so good. Ben Stiller, why are you hurting these children that want Halloween candy?
Yeah. Also, I love how in that movie they're like just so inventive about how they're hiding candy. No one in this camp gives a shit.
That's all I remember from that, yeah.
No one gives a single crap. Yeah. Why would you hide it in the bedpost?
It's amazing. Wait,
they have like secret drops for the candy.
Well, that's okay. I'm gonna take a quick tangent to explain the movie to you, which was like, didn't their parents also go to that same thing? So they like knew where the candy hiding was. Like this had proliferated through the generations of where to hide your candy, and so it was like a camp secret, as well as like I'm pretty sure the instructors knew too. Like, wasn't that the point of the scene is that they're like parents show up and like knock a window and like candy comes out and they're like, just like when I was a kid, and it's about generational experience
and trauma.
So 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Did the parents also have their own Ben Stiller?
Maybe in the sequel. I think the sequel was like Godfather Part 2, and we see their parents' childhoods.
My favorite part is when they go to steal a candy bar. I was like, is this your candy bar? And they're like, no, now help me with this. They pick up a large Reese's, like it's a rug-sized Reese's cup. Yes. And they roll it up and they take it back to their cabin.
Yes, exactly. I remember that distinctly from Heavyweights Part 2.
Yeah.
And then Part 3, the main character's daughter dies.
Yeah, and also something about Casino.
Yes.
Okay.
Was that in Godfather Part 3
no,
had a
we're
casino?
not doing this bit anymore.
Okay.
FNAF.
So, we're finally here performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Clap your hands together if you want to clap, and we'll take you through this FNAF rap. Spoilers. Matthew Patrick is in the movie. Did you know about this?
I thought he was, but I thought that was just a theory.
No. You're not allowed to say that because he says it in the movie.
I know. It was
so
like, lunch is the most important meal of the day.
He's like, well, I thought it was breakfast.
No. You know what? I saved you the time. You don't have to see the movie anymore. That was the entire movie. You're welcome.
No reason to see the movie now. It's been circulating online. I'll probably make this into a YouTube short and play it when we just said that. But holy shit, the fact that he shows up and the. Okay,
well, he's not the only one. It's like a handful of YouTubers also show up.
Yeah, I think like Corey X Kenshin's also like he's like a cab driver. I think Markiplier was supposed to be in it, but he's doing his own like video game movie called Iron Lung. Do you hear about this? Do you know about it? The only reason that I think it's really interesting, besides I kind of like Markiplier.
I love how this movie is so lame that we can't focus on talking about it at all. Well, we're talking about it. We're already talking about a different movie.
Well, in particular, the Iron Lung one's really interesting because his eyes got dyed red. Like during the production of it, because this is apparently the movie that has used the most on-screen blood of any movie ever.
Even more than Murder Hobo?
Holy shit, I forgot. Yeah, y'all should watch Murder Hobo. Fuck,
That
that's another
movie
good
has
recommendation.
an incredible amount of blood. That is one of those movies where like you're a main character based on how much blood you have.
Yeah, they're made of everyone is just like a bag of blood. Like there's as soon as you shoot someone, they explode into like what was it, Akira Kurosawa like style explosion blood. God, that movie's fun. That one in Turbo Kid.
Yeah, Turbo Kid was wild.
Very good. The reason I bring up Iron Lung is because the ocean is made of blood. Just actually described
So it's just Evangelion.
premise to me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the entire premise of Evangelion is the ocean's made of blood.
Is that the entire premise of Evangelion?
Yeah.
Are we going to do this now? Okay, guys, we're done talking about FNAF. I'm going to now lecture you about Evangelion. I think Jess mentioned to me that Evangelion is my Dune for you. That like I will stop whatever we're doing and talk about Evangelion.
You don't want to challenge me to this fight, Keon.
Okay, we're gonna have a FNAF fan off, where we're gonna talk about our own individual.
Not about FNAF.
Yeah, not about FNAF at all. Okay,
Sorry.
So the reason I want to bring up MatPat and his cameo is because they unintentionally or intentionally dunk on him twice in his own cameo, and he had to be like up for it, I assume, because he was like taking part. That one. He comes in, says his whole bit, and then they say, "Do you get paid by the word? Could you leave us alone?" So like they're dunking on him for just talking for 20 minutes about nothing in his videos. Beautiful, love it. Number one. Number two, did you read his name tag?
No.
It's Ness. His name tag is Ness, which is a callback to his most like memed on video, which is that Sans from Undertale is actually Ness from Earthbound. Did you know anything about this controversy?
God, no. I haven't seen MatPat stuff in years.
It's a long time ago video, but it's like he's laying out the entire. This is why when like Undertale was huge, that like he was laying out how everything about Sans means that he is Ness, and all of his justification was that Toby Fox, the creator of Undertale, really likes Earthbound.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
My favorite part of Undertale is when a man tries to kill himself.
In Undertale?
No, I'm making fun of the part in Earthbound where like one of the bosses is literally just like a suicidal businessman.
God, that game's ridiculous.
That's wild.
No wonder they don't want to
for
localize
children.
Mother 3.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did they do it? Did that happen?
I don't know.
I think
I'm not going to Google that.
I think they brought it to the home arcade, whatever, that's on the Switch. If you have a Premier account, whatever, the Nintendo
it's
exclusive account.
what's it called?
Movie Pass for Nintendo.
Yeah, I was gonna say, damn it, Nintendo A-list.
Nintendo A-list. That's pretty good. Ask if you can get credit for this game if you're in the lobby.
My favorite part is every time I play a Nintendo game, Charlize Theron is the thing that she walks into your living room.
God damn it. That's Nicole Kidman.
Oh, is that Nicole Kidman?
God damn it. We come to the Nintendo Switch to laugh,
Well, no, Nicole
to
Kidman
love.
had to do the AMC one, so Charlize Theron was the only one that could get for the Nintendo Switch one.
Yes, exactly. So, God. The only other way that they could have dished on MatPat even worse is if they mentioned that he brought a copy of Undertale to the Pope. Did you know about this?
Yeah, and I thought that was actually one of like the most ridiculous things that he called out for.
Yeah.
Didn't Logan Paul bring the Pope like a surfboard? Like it's
Did he
like
really?
Yeah, it's like in the same like YouTubers Meet the Pope meeting where he brings the Pope a copy of Undertale because he thinks it's a game about like understanding how like people are meaningful and perseverance and blah
mercy.
blah blah. Yeah, and like people are like, he doesn't play video games. Like, no shit.
He's the
The
Pope.
Pope doesn't even know who these people are.
Yeah, he doesn't know what a floppy disk is.
Yeah.
Like, come on. The best part about that, though, is that at the time, Undertale didn't have a physical release. So he gave him a fucking code to, like, download Undertale himself.
Well, there's one thing we all know is the Vatican Wi-Fi is top notch.
Exactly. They got that Holy Spirit Wi-Fi repeater, something, angels.
Father, the Son, and the Holy Router.
Fuck, that's pretty good. So, FNAF. Other thing I wanted to mention about it. As I was scrubbing through the movie, just being like, wow, this is pretty cool. I should actually give this my attention. I stumbled upon the scene that is in every movies, that's in most movies, and it's called, I think it's called Fun and Games. Do you know about this in screenwriting?
Where they're just like having a scene where they're like interacting with the things, setting them up, but they're like not scared of them yet.
No, well, more or less. The idea is that, let's say that you're seeing a movie that is like we were just talking about, No One Will Save You. in that movie, near the beginning, if not, it's usually at the beginning of the second act, there's a moment where it's like, hey, this is the conceit of this is what was in the trailer. This is the whole reason you came to see the movie. So
It's Josh Hutcherson with the shirt off.
Spoilers. God, I hope they do that. Good for him. Man, Josh Hutcherson, didn't we have...
He's so great.
Cameron and I have gone on several rants at several different times of being like, I just want to get a beer with Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah, he just seems like a really nice guy.
Like a legitimately chill, down-to-earth actor.
If there was one guy I really hope doesn't turn out to just be the biggest piece of crap, I hope it's Josh Hutcherson.
Yes, I picture him in the background of every shoot for Hunger Games, just being like, does anybody want to go play like hacky sack?
Is anyone hungry? Can I get you a sandwich?
I can go to Crafty right. I was going to Crafty right now. Does anybody want anything? So yeah, there's a moment that's in the fun and games section, I'd call it, where something happens where it's the conceit of the movie. So in No One Will Save You, aliens show up and there's an alien thing. So in this movie, the fun and games part I stumbled upon, which was at about I think it was 30, 40 minutes in. It's the scene after MatPat shows up. So you can tell MatPat delineates the first act from the second act of this fucking movie.
Really?
It's legitimately, I'm pretty sure that's how this actually works out in the script. So there's this group of dickheads that go into Fazbear's Pizza, and they end up basically having the exact experience you have in the game. And it's fucking great. This is what I don't get about this movie. And I'm trying not to spoil anything, but this is what I find really interesting about this movie is that it has a 90% audience score and a 25% critic score.
I mean, it's kind of like the Sonic movie in that
it's a masterpiece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the Sonic movies, like the Mario movie. It's very clearly it was made for the fans. There's a ton of it that's just lore from FNAF.
Yeah.
That if you haven't played FNAF and you don't know anything about FNAF, you're just going to not know what's going on.
I agree. Yeah.
There's a character that shows up for all of 2 scenes that is just a lore dump of a character.
That makes sense.
They don't explain him in the movie.
If they don't have Markiplier screaming, was that the bite of 90, what was it, 87? I'm going to cry. I don't think Markiplier's in this movie,
not
unfortunately, because of, the Iron Lung movie. But the movie, from what I saw, during that fun and games portion, I was like, cool, I'm satisfied. This is what I wanted to see was because this is the whole thing about video game movies. You can't distill down the enjoyment you have from a video game into a movie because that's the whole point. Your agency and you playing the game is the fun part. I think we talked about this in our Mario episode that there's not much story to Mario. You jump and run to the right. And
there's a cart. Goomba. There's also carts.
There's also carts. There's also tennis. There's also baseball. There's also soccer. Wow, none of that was in the movie.
Yeah, I think they're saving that for the sequel where he has to fight Sonic.
I would love that.
It's like the Olympics on Earth, and Mario comes back for the Olympics because he loves the Olympics for some reason.
Because he's Italian.
Yeah, because he's Italian. Italians love the Olympics.
He's representing Italy. Yeah. God, I mean,
the high jump.
Fuck. Oh, that's good. Fuck the high jump. Oh God. I'm gonna do a second. Fuck. And Tails is doing it too, and he's cheating. Can't use your tails. Oh God.
They just qualify for being an animal.
And then they do an Air Bud, and he's like, "There's nowhere in the rules that says a fox can't jump." And they're like, "By God, you're right."
Use a biplane to do it.
Gosh, fucking damn it. Fuck, where were we? What was I talking about?
So we're talking about there's a scene with the kids, and you're talking about
So these people come in and they're wrecking the place, and it is the FNAF game. You can break down into a scene. That's why a lot of the short films that they make are really interesting, because a lot of those fan short films take the creepiness of the game and put it into a horror short, and it makes sense. If you're trying to break that out into an hour and 45 or an hour and 50-minute movie, it's going to be a lot of other time to do other things. And I think that the parts that I saw, they were like, okay, cool, there's other theming going on. The moment where they do this gore fest on these people is fucking rad, because everything I wanted was in there. Primarily, the thing that I really liked was that, what are the 3 things that they have in FNAF? Cameron, tell me.
They have it's the night.
It is the night.
There are 5 of them.
There are 5
they're at Freddy's.
And they are at Freddy's.
The 3 things in FNAF. I know that from the title. Just like I know how in The Catcher in the Rye, they try to catch that rye so good, but they don't seem to catch the rye until the end of the book where they finally catch the rye.
And To Kill a Mockingbird is an instructional manual on how to kill mockingbirds. So in FNAF, you look at screen, animatronics show up, animatronic jump scare. The thing
For 5 nights.
For 5 whole nights. And guess what? 2 extra nights. Spoilers for like a nearly decade-long game. God, yeah, it has been a long time since Five Nights at Freddy's came out. And the deep lore is all extra. The reason why I think FNAF got so huge is because there's no gore in it. In the game, it's
just happening from a first-person view where it's horrifying.
Yeah, and they're like the lore is creepy because the idea is like, they jump scare you. Oh, you got jump scared by an animatronic, but like the lore is that they like squeeze you into one of their
into the suits.
Animatronics.
They think you're an animatronic and you don't look right like one of the animals, so they make you into an animatronic.
God, did you ever see the Hot Diggity Demon animation about it?
No.
It's really good because it's basically the weird horror, like it humanizes the animatronics because it's from the perspective of the animatronics.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
Yes,
one. No, it's okay, friend. We'll help you.
Yes, yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, it's real good. Okay, I'll link that in the description later when this is a VOD. That's really good because like the entire time you're just like, this is kind of campy, and then in the end you're like, oh no. Mm-hmm. So the reason I bring up all this, and I preface this like this, is that the main thing that happens is that there's a jump scare and there's like a noise that happens. Man, I wish my voice wasn't fucked. The movie has a perfect jump scare that's like exactly like that. I'm like, this is great. And this is the moment that I think that like for everybody, all y'all have been on the internet for the past decade. I'm pretty sure all of us know what the Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare looks like. So the fact that the movie does it, and does it, in my opinion, pretty well, is the check plus everybody wanted. So the fact that like a lot of reviewers, similarly to the Mario movie, and we have an entire video called the Mario Controversy, where it's about why the reviewers are rating stuff so low, is really the fact that people aren't going to the movies like this for Citizen Kane. I don't even think people would go see Citizen Kane if it came out. It's very good. You should go watch Citizen Kane. But
it's fine.
I'm ending the stream. How dare you?
Bye. Oh. I have places to be.
Fuck you, Colin.
Do you think I want to hold this pipe for an hour?
Why did you you jump scare me with this
I'm going
pipe?
as Adams.
Oh. Thought you were John Wick's brother.
No, I'm Dr.
Juan
Disrespect.
Wick. Oh, Dr. Disrespect. I should get you some sunglasses for that. The reason I'm
crying.
You know what I'm saying? Is that what you said?
I said you were saying.
Okay. The reason I bring up all this is because they have a big jump scare. They do a squish. They squish a person into a suit. And you see all the screens. It's great. I liked it. And reviewers need to understand that I don't give a fuck what they have to say anymore. Because I'm a reviewer now. I've taken I'm
you
the captain now.
You have a YouTube channel.
I do.
Apparently, if you have a smartphone, you are a food critic. And if you have a YouTube channel, you're a movie reviewer. That's all it takes.
We're basically... I was going to say Citizen Kane again. We're basically... Gordon Ramsay, David Ramsay, Pharaoh Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay is the cook.
Yes, and Dave Ramsey is the financial guy.
So we're sent
they both have YouTube channels.
To make friends and influence people.
God, do you want to go on? Do you want that to be documented? Your how to win friends and
I think we'll have to have
wars?
An entire separate stream called Cameron Can't Stand Self-Help Books.
Yeah, I think we're actually gonna. I feel like I want to make a secondary channel where we just talk about random bullshit that we end up talking about, because a lot of the times it comes up here completely derailing us from film.
I'm not the one derailing us right now, young man.
No, I want to. I think all of you, I appreciate you being here, but
if you want us to make this new channel, leave the stream now so that we can set up the other stream.
Yeah, exactly, and then just join the other stream.
Yeah.
Please come back, please. So yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm excited to actually watch it. It's funny because when I mentioned, so the idea for the stream was that we were going to watch the movie, and then
time was not on our side.
Yeah, we were going to do a watch along, but I don't know how many of y'all.
Time's the scariest thing if you think about it. It will make fools of us all.
It will. It's spooky. It's the Ozymandias.
We live in a time society.
Yeah, remember when in Watchmen he's just like, time big scary, and I was like, wow, Watchmen's a really
my favorite part was when that clock does the jump scare. It just jumps up from behind that pillar. Like, oh my god!
He's like, whoa, Dr. Manhattan.
There's a big blue dong.
It's like a grandfather clock.
Yeah,
you see,
it goes dong.
Yeah, wow.
We're on our game today.
We're really killing it.
Okay, can I just get like a final word in about this FNAF thing? Because I feel like it is for the handful of people watching the stream or whoever watched this video who care.
Yeah.
If you liked Five Nights at Freddy's, you'll probably like this.
I
think this is a problem of they're making a trilogy. I know that part.
Are they?
They were supposed. I don't know if they're going to, considering how this first one went.
I mean, it makes sense. They're the core 3 games.
Yeah, but my point is, it is very clear they're making a trilogy in which all this lore that they dumped either well or poorly, depending on who you are, in this first game.
Yeah.
In the first movie, not game.
Sure. Well, no, you're also right. The first game did the same.
Completed in a hopefully like good way, but I will say like the one thing that I found super unforgivable is everything that has to do with Josh Hutcherson's backstory. We don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
No one cared. Like you could have made it like any number of things.
Yeah.
Where this is the same backstory as like in No One Will Save You, where it's like no one cares. No one gives a shit. This does not need to be in the movie.
I disagree for one fact. I did not, this is not a spoiler, because I didn't actually watch the damn movie. I just skipped through it. But as soon as I saw that he has a little brother in his childhood, which I presume, since he's like in his like mid-30s, like late 30s.
Yeah.
Could have been in 1987, is that his little brother could have been the Bite of 87. And if it is, I would be so fucking sick. Literally, as soon as I saw the little brother, I'm like, oh, fuck, yes. So I hope that, and I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. I hope it is, because that would be fucking awesome.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait until we see the other movies to find out.
And I want to do a quick shout out to Matthew Patrick himself, because I
know you watch the stream, Matt.
We know that you're a big fan. You follow. You even watched our Asteroid City video that nobody watched. But I want to thank him for spending the past over a decade covering Five Nights at Freddy's basically every single week, to the point that they had to make this movie. Like,
yeah,
the first game was a phenomenon because it was like $2, and the dude that made it. Do you know much about the game? Like when it first came out?
I don't know anything about the creation of the game.
It's awesome because the creator was really passionate about this 3D animation and 3D models that he would make. But the problem is he made a bunch of educational games, but they reminded me of like those 90s educational games.
Like Papa Goes to the Moon?
Oh, not even that. Like before that, you remember like there was a game that was like Yoda Adventures, and it was like a procedurally generated like shitty sprite art. You don't remember this? The reason I bring it up is because that game haunted me, because there was no background music and all the sound effects was really fucking loud. So if you're playing it and you don't have your like speakers calibrated, it'll jump scare you whenever anything happens. Like when you swing the lightsaber, any of that. So he created some like childhood educational games and was scathingly reviewed to be like, this shit looks fucking terrifying. I hate your art style. This fucking sucks. And then he's like, I'll fucking show you. And he made like really well, like, I don't know if they were actually good, but like he spent a lot of goddamn time on these games. And then for him to come back and be like, you know what, fuck it. In a weekend, I'll make this fucking whatever game. And it's great because those are first games. The first Five Nights at Freddy's games have such simple animations, but are so effective because of how gross they look and how good he is at making these weird like 3D models. So when the game came out, you know, he got to flex a little bit on his weird art style. And then Matt Pat went out of his goddamn way to be like, wait, there's some lore here. And I don't think I ever gave that much of a shit about a video game lore video until it was Matt Pat's first video about the game, where he's like, there's a purple guy and this purple guy, like, when do you actually do the Five Nights at Freddy's? Is it now or is it in 1999? Because if you look at the check that they give you at the end of the game, it has a different date on it. And if you backtrace the date, it goes back to this date, and you could be in purgatory. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is amazing. I was over 18. I probably shouldn't have cared that much about Five Nights at Freddy's, but like, bruh, it was pretty cool. So like, I am glad that started what I feel like is this boutique industry for like really deep lore Five Nights at Freddy's games that allowed for the creator to just keep making shit. Because the first game came out, it's kind of interesting. Then within, I think it was a couple months, he made a second game. And then within a couple months or a year, he made the third game. And we were like, what the fuck? Is he just going to keep doing it? He has. He just keeps making us stuff. Hello there. Hello at Cool. Hello, I totally ruined your name.
Why
probably.
do you keep reading their names?
Because they're very nice for stopping by, and they said hello, and they said I'll sub. Thank you. You don't need to sub. If you're actually not going to watch the channel, you can just pass by and have a good time. But we're proud to have you here. But Five Nights at Freddy's was a milestone in all video game culture. And the fact that Mario could have his video game movie this year, 2 movies after Sonic, by the way. But like, I'm glad that Five Nights at Freddy's is finally having its time in the sun, you know?
Okay, well, I would like to give a real shout out to like the real hero of the story, which is capitalism. Because capitalism convinced Matt Pat that it would be a good idea to completely abandon whatever he felt like doing and just focus on feeding the like strange Ouroboros monster that is the YouTube algorithm, where he fed it FNAF videos, and then they were deciding like, oh well, we could just steal some of this lore and make more FNAF stuff. And then he's like, well, now I have to make more FNAF videos. And he's like, well, we could make some more FNAF stuff. And now we have a movie.
Yeah. No, I agree. The whole enterprise of making those videos, I assume, was Matt Pat and the creator being like, what if we just like kept doing this forever?
Well, oh my god, we found an infinite money glitch.
Yes, exactly. Also, hello again, person from the chat. Yes, hello. Yeah, I think that this movie is going to be, or the series is well deserved, because all of these games were just ridiculous. And the fact that there is such deep lore this is the year for kids movies, like kids video game movies, because the Mario movie came out and the Peaches song became top 100 songs ever, and it's great. It's totally its own good movie unto itself. Like, it's just a fun time. And now kids get their fun, cool movie, and now they get their spooky, scary movie. Even though this one's rated PG-13. Do you know that?
The spooky, scary movie was supposed to be Barbie.
The Barbie movie would be spooky, scary.
It's also rated PG-13.
It is for incels.
Yeah.
If I learned anything, go watch our Barbie review. But yeah, I'm glad that this has become kind of the year for kids properties to just have their own fun stuff. If there's one thing history has taught us, is that next year and the next 20 years are going to be the year of kids properties being mismanaged because they learned the wrong lesson from this year. Are you excited? Are you excited for... I was going to say the Clue movie, but there was a good Clue movie.
I'm excited for Tic-Tac-Toe.
I'm excited for Sorry.
The Canadian game that's sweeping the nation.
It's going to be made by a Canadian creator. It's going to be Canadian led. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited for it.
It's going to be about a moose.
Fuck, it could be. But yeah, so the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, I'm going to give it... I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I'll give it a thumbs up if you like Five Nights at Freddy's content. And I give it a thumb sideways if you don't know how you feel about scary movies, Five Nights at Freddy's content, or our Julius Caesar.
Yes, that's fair. And also, hello, Adley Cool just said, I know why kid YouTubers make vids. It's for money.
You tell me the villain that I just brought up was the villain the whole time?
I think that the villain of all movies is actually the box office.
Yeah,
and the producers.
My favorite part is in the end of Matt Pat, the revealing of Matt Pat, where this crew of people cornered Matt Pat in a restaurant, and they threw him to the ground while he was kicking and screaming, and they pulled off his face, and underneath was just a pile of money.
Let's see who this really is. A pile of money? Capitalism.
And I would have gotten away with it too. Let's bring your Markipliers.
Your Markipliers and your Jacksepticeyes. God. Okay, on that note, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes. I think we've all had a great time. And I hope you guys did too. And this will live on the channel as a stream VOD, so please watch it. I hope we didn't, I hope the part that won't be archived is us at the beginning, just kind of troubleshooting stuff.
Yes.
I hope that doesn't
And me
get,
talking about Marxism.
and you talking about Marxism.
And also, don't forget, unlike Matt Pat, we are not driven by capitalism. I'm definitely not getting paid to do this. We're doing this for him.
Yeah, for me, because I told him to. I made him. He has a child at home he should probably be with, but I demanded he come to the studio and record this. Look at the Halloween set. It's got orange and purple. Ain't it cool? Aren't we cool guys?
Shouldn't the other color be green?
Why would it be green?
Because like witches.
It's okay. In the comments, is Halloween
This is
purple
over.
and
We're done. We're
orange,
done.
or is
I'm
it
leaving.
green?
I'm done. I'm out of here.
You're a silly
Gomez
goose.
Adams signing off.
Wednesday was a good show. Was it? Did you watch Wednesday?
I watched enough of it to decide I didn't want to watch it.
Fair. Luis Guzman was an okay Gomez. Okay, bye.